Have you ever wondered why Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, is shouting louder than ever that 2025 will create more millionaires and at the same time wipe out the middle class? It sounds extreme, right? But here's the thing. Kiyosaki has been right before. He predicted the 2008 housing crash. He warned about inflation years before it hit. And now, he's saying we're standing on the edge of the biggest financial shift of our lifetime. So, what's the secret? What does Robert Kiyosaki know about money in 2025 that most people don't? And more importantly, how can you use it before it's too late? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll see why following the old rules of money is the fastest way to stay broke, while those who adapt Kiyosaki strategies could come out on top. Robert Kiyosaki isn't your average financial guru. He's a former Marine pilot, an entrepreneur, an investor, and the author of one of the best-selling personal finance books in history, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Over 40 million copies sold, translated into more than 50 languages. But the real reason people still listen to him in 2025 is simple. He doesn't just teach about saving or budgeting. He teaches a game of money, a game most people don't even know they're playing. Kiyosaki built his reputation by saying things that go against everything you were taught. The rich don't work for money. Debt can make you rich. Your house is not an asset. At first, these ideas sound crazy. But when you look at how the rich actually build wealth, you realize he's not crazy, he's brutally honest. And right now, Kiyosaki warns that 2025 is a turning point. With inflation, record-breaking debt, AI reshaping entire industries, and global uncertainty around the dollar, the old ways of making money are dead. If you've read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, you already know Kiyosaki's number one lesson: the difference between assets and liabilities. Assets put money in your pocket. Liabilities take money out of your pocket. Simple but powerful. The problem is, most people never apply it. They buy houses, cars, take on debt, thinking they're building wealth, when in reality, they're building liabilities. The rich spend their lives collecting assets, businesses, investments, real estate, intellectual property, even crypto. That's why the gap between the rich and poor keeps widening. Kiyosaki also believes traditional education trains people to be employees, to work for money, instead of learning how money actually works. That's why he says, school makes you poor. But here's the layer most people miss. Kiyosaki doesn't just focus on assets. He focuses on cash flow. It's not enough to own something valuable on paper. It has to pay you every month. That's why he prefers rental properties over personal homes and income-generating businesses over high-paying jobs. Kiyosaki teaches that financial intelligence is the ultimate leverage. Once you know how to spot good deals, manage debt, and minimize taxes, even small investments can turn into lasting wealth. In other words, his philosophy isn't about working harder. It's about building a system where money constantly works for you. So, how does this apply to 2025? Kiyosaki believes we're living in the most dangerous yet most exciting time in history. Why? Number 1, inflation and money printing. Central banks are printing money like never before. Every dollar sitting in a bank account is losing value by the day. Kiyosaki says cash is trash. Number 2, debt explosion. Governments, companies, and households are drowning in debt. The middle class suffers because debt weakens them. But the rich, they use debt as leverage to buy assets. Number 3, AI and technology revolution. Millions of jobs are being replaced or automated. Kiyosaki says the biggest winners will be those who adapt, invest, and use these new tools to their advantage. Number 4, collapse of trust in the dollar. Kiyosaki has been loud about this. Save gold, silver, and Bitcoin, not paper money. The U.S. dollar is losing its global dominance, and with it, the illusion of financial safety. In short, the secret to building wealth in 2025 isn't about working harder. It's about playing a completely different game. What most people overlook is that the real threat in 2025 is the speed of change. A job that feels safe today could disappear tomorrow, while new industries and asset classes emerge almost overnight. Kiyosaki reminds us, volatility isn't the enemy. Ignorance is. Those who educate themselves and act fast can ride the waves of change. Those who cling to the old rules of money risk being crushed by them. In uncertain times, Kiyosaki emphasizes, diversification is key. Having exposure to hard assets, digital currencies, and cash-flowing businesses builds true resilience. The secret is simple but powerful. Don't play defense. Play offense with the right assets. For Kiyosaki, the core insight is clear. The rich don't fear debt. They fear missed opportunities. Most people see debt as a trap. For the middle class, it often is. But for the wealthy, debt is a tool. Think about this. Two people each have $50,000. The first leaves it sitting in the bank. 5 years later, inflation has eaten away its value. The second uses that same $50,000 as a down payment on an apartment building. They finance the rest, rent out, and the tenants pay the mortgage. The property appreciates. That person just turned debt into wealth. This is what Kiyosaki calls playing the right game of money. While the middle class works for a paycheck and saves in a system that punishes savers, the rich use assets, debt, and financial intelligence as weapons. And here's the part most people miss. The rich don't just invest, they understand the tax game. As Kiyosaki says, the tax code is a series of rewards for those who create wealth, not for those who just earn it. While the middle class pays the highest tax rates, the rich legally reduce or defer taxes through real estate businesses and strategic investments. And they never do it alone. They surround themselves with mentors, accountants, and advisors who help multiply their wealth. The real secret? The rich don't measure success by how much they earn, but by how much money keeps flowing in even when they stop working. The problem is, most people are still trapped in a system designed to keep them in place. The script is always the same. Go to school, get a job, buy a house, pay taxes, save a little. But in 2025, that script is broken. Wages can't keep up with inflation. Jobs are disappearing. The money you save in the bank is melting. Meanwhile, government debt has passed $35 trillion, what Kiyosaki calls the biggest bubble in history. And his warning couldn't be clearer. Hope is not a strategy. Without action and financial education, the middle class is on the path to extinction, and those who don't adapt will realize it too late. Every year, your dollars buy less. Meanwhile, assets outperform cash. Real estate, stocks, gold, silver, Bitcoin, all have beaten inflation over the long term. Kiyosaki puts it bluntly, cash is trash. The rise of artificial intelligence is creating new millionaires. Those who build, invest, or use AI while millions of traditional jobs are replaced are riding the next wave of wealth. Kiyosaki compares it to the Industrial Revolution, but faster. Here's a powerful example. Imagine you kept $10,000 in a savings account from 2020 to 2025. Due to inflation, it lost nearly 20% of its purchasing power. Now imagine if you put the same $10,000 into Bitcoin, gold, or a rental property. That money could have grown dramatically instead of shrinking. This is a game the rich are playing, and it's the game you need to start playing too. But what if I told you there's one strategy Kiyosaki believes could make you rich even if the economy collapses? A move most people don't even know exists. Now, Kiyosaki's secret laid bare. 2025 isn't just another year. It's a turning point. The middle class is being wiped out because they're still following the old rules. Meanwhile, the rich are adapting to the new rules. Don't save money, save assets. Gold, silver, Bitcoin, real estate, businesses. Don't fear debt, learn to use it. Borrow smart, buy assets, let others pay it off. Don't rely on a paycheck. Build cash flow, whether to rental property, an online business, or dividends. Find income that doesn't depend on your job. Invest in financial education. The most valuable asset isn't gold or Bitcoin. It's what you know. The climax of Kiyosaki's message is clear. The greatest wealth transfer in history is happening right now. The only question is, will you be on the winning side or the losing side? Robert Kiyosaki's secret to getting rich in 2025 isn't really a secret. It's a mindset shift. Stop thinking like the poor or middle class. Start thinking like the rich. The poor work for money. The middle class works for security. The rich make money work for them. In 2025, when inflation, debt, and technology are rewriting the rules of the game, This mindset is more important than ever. The challenge is yours. Don't just watch this video and nod along. Take one action this week to move from liabilities to assets. Whether it's starting a side hustle, buy your first ounce of silver, or learning to use AI to earn money, do something. Because as Kiyosaki says, the future doesn't belong to those who work the hardest, but to those who think the smartest. If you want to get out of the stagnation game and start making money work for you, don't wait any longer. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Remember, action today is wealth tomorrow.